do is absolutely free, can be done by yourself, and yet no one ever mentions it.
It's the Alan Cox Show
on the Buzzard.
WMMS.
I was reading about Disturbed had to cancel their show at the very last minute in Phoenix. I think on Thursday night or Friday night. It pissed a lot of people off, but the heat was so bad it was making their equipment malfunction.
Oh.
So they're like, we can't put this show on. They were supposed to do a show. I guess this is Saturday night. Disturbed is on their first tour in a while. They're going to do Blossom next month. And they canceled the show like day of or right before or something. The 115-degree heat was making their equipment malfunction. This is an outdoor amphitheater, so they weren't inside. And obviously people blew them up because they were all upset, but they're like, we really bummed out, really, really sorry. We'll come back at a later date and try to do this. But this is going to happen more and more, too, in places like Phoenix, or, you do in an outdoor, or you'll have bands that are like, we can't do this in an outdoor venue. So anyway, they had to cancel Saturday in Phoenix. Ironically, last night in Albuquerque, everything went according to plan. The temperatures last week in Phoenix, we were talking about it. They had 19 days of temperatures above 90 degrees or something. It was 118 degrees on Saturday when Disturbed was supposed to play. We were out on Friday, but Thursday when we were talking about the Jason Aldean show out at Blossom, because it was that night. I wasn't aware that show was that night, but a lot of people were talking about it. That show ended up getting canceled because of that massive storm that blew through on Thursday night. Mm-hmm. Like, I was driving home, and it was like a monsoon and wind and the whole thing. Fried my fridge, by the way. Our fridge, our freezer, I had to buy a new motherboard for it. I got to put that in.
90 was flooded by Hilliard, like a foot of water flooded.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Messed up two comedians' cars that were on the way to a show that I was putting on, and then they got stuck in that flood water.
Is that comedians in cars taking on water?
Yes.
Yeah,
they should have been prepared.
Yeah. We have neighbors whose basements flooded. Ours didn't because we're on a little bit of a grade, but it fried our fridge, and we didn't realize it until Friday, I guess. I go, hey, I think we have like our fridge is a side-by-side, so one side is the freezer and the other side is the fridge. I go, hey, I think the freezer's busted because things were getting soft. And usually, if you have a side-by-side, they have different power sources, but it became very clear that the fridge was going the same way, too, so I got to put a new board in it, and hopefully that'll work. If not, it's brand new fridge time, which is always exciting. But the one we've got came with the house, and it's probably about, I was doing some, I was digging into its make and model, and it looks like it's from 1994. So it had a good run. If this one craps out, had a good run. But the Jason Aldean show ended up being canceled. And I got a letter from somebody who was working. I had the unfortunate pleasure, Alan, of working the Jason Aldean concert, which was later canceled because of the severe weather. And it really couldn't happen to a more deserving group of people, is what this woman wrote. We had people with Confederate flag hats and T-shirts and bandanas, people wearing handmade shirts that said FCMT and so on. A lot of people feeling very, very comfortable wearing their Confederate flags. And a lot of girls just doing the slutty cowgirl thing. So,
all right, so there's some good and some bad.
There
all right,
let's not throw the baby out with the
bathwater. Every group's not a monolith. There's some racists, but there's some hot sluts too. We love hot sluts.
Well, she calls them slutty cowgirls. I have no idea. I can't throw the slut tag at them, but nobody's going to complain if that Daisy Dukes
the uniform.
Huh?
I mean, is it there? It's the same thing with if you're wearing a Confederate flag, I'm going to assume you're a racist. And if you're dressed in a slutty cowgirl, I'm not going to assume that you're not a slut. That'd be weird.
All I'm saying is I'm never going to argue about somebody doing the T-shirt, Daisy Dukes, boots, hat combo.
Great combo.
That's a great combo.
Good combo.
Not everybody can pull it off, but I love that you're trying. So this person who was working at Blossom before the thing got canceled, I'll keep them anonymous, so as not to have any professional blowback on them.
That night, Mary was at Hilarities doing a guest set, and she got to perform for the goddamn Bare Naked Ladies. They were in the
yeah, they were
audience.
there. I know.
Did you meet them?
No, they didn't.
Wait,
come
when
up to
was
us.
this?
So Kyle Kinane was in town this past weekend at Hilarities, and Thursday night
They had a night off.
they had a night off, and apparently Kyle Kinane and their drummer or their guitarist.
The guy Bill talked to.
No,
Oh.
some guy who's bald named Ed.
That's the one.
Oh, is that the guy?
That's the front man. Ed Robertson is the front man.
Yeah, but he's not bald.
Well, Kyle
the
said it
bald
was
guy-
a bald guy.
The bald
Maybe it's
guy
not
is the
Ed.
drummer.
So then
and
the
that's
bald
Tyler,
drummer.
Tyler Stewart.
Tyler, that was the guy Bill talked to.
Yeah.
So the
Bare
bald,
Naked Head.
Yes, Bare Naked Head. That guy and Kyle Kinane, I guess, are friends from forever ago. And he reached out to Kyle and was like, hey, we're in town early. We're playing a gig tomorrow. We're going to come to your show tonight. So, yeah, the Bare Naked Ladies, or I don't know if it was the full band or just him, but they were in the audience on Thursday. They didn't stick around or say hi or come back to the green room or anything like that. But Kyle told us about it. He was like, yeah, I guess the band is here. So if you have any Bare Naked Lady jokes, go ahead and do them. But
That would have been cool for me. But that was a great show on Friday night. Bare Naked Ladies at Blossom went off without incident, and I didn't see any Confederate flags.
It was Bare Naked Ladies. It was, I forget who
Five
said
for
it.
Fighting and Del
Amitri. And it was all good? You were there for the whole thing?
Yeah, I stayed for the whole thing. Got there right at the beginning of Del Amitri's set. They started right on time.
Yeah.
It was a very efficient concert as well, which I love that. Del Amitri, I didn't understand those guys. I didn't know they'd been around for so long.
Del Amitri?
They've been
Oh, a
a
long
band
time.
since like 1983.
Yeah, because they're from Scotland.
Yeah.
So they only had a couple of hits here, but I think they're still a big deal over there.
I love that Roll to Me. That's
That's a
like
great
one
song,
of
yeah.
my favorite songs.
And it was funny watching everybody get up for that song.
Yeah,
Like they were
it's a good
like,
one.
they're like, oh, this is the one we know.
Yeah.
And then they're all dancing.
Hey, play the one we know.
Yeah. And then Five for Fighting, they have 100 Years to Live and Superman are their big hit songs. And then they have a newer song. But here's the thing. I think I went to a country concert because it sounds like every country concert where you talk about where they did a song for the troops.
Uh-huh.
And they did a bunch of covers.
Yeah.
Like every band did at least one cover.
Yes.
And like the Bare Naked Ladies do like a whole medley of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
That's, should I pull what you guys pull? That's because they're not talented and they can't get off of their own music. They're such little pieces of crap band people. They got to play other people's music in order to make it sound good.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's exactly the speech they gave.
Yeah? That's how they started it?
Yes.
We're going to play a medley of other people's music because we're terrible musicians?
Well, because we only have 2 hits and we got to fill 45 minutes.
Well, that's what you tell me about country artists. That
Yes.
they're not talented, so they have to play other people's
We're
music.
not telling them to do other people's music. That's not on us. Why are we the bad
We didn't
guys?
say they're not talented.
No, we
don't
didn't say
like
that at
their
all.
music.
She loves putting words in people's mouths, by the way. You should be a
Put something
songwriter.
else in your mouth.
But
we have
no,
a-
listen, we never said that. What we said was
Yeah,
they
you did.
love doing other people's songs.
So Five for Fighting did a Give It Up for the Troops song, but it's the most other way Give It Up for the Troops because then he sang a song that was dedicated to the people of Ukraine, and they went to the Ukraine and filmed all the stuff that was bombed there, and it's
my
like
goodness.
referencing their president and stuff like that. So
Get up for the Ukrainian troops.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like it was a liberal country concert. That's what it felt like. Because then everybody goes crazy for the theme song from Big Bang Theory. They're like, yes, science. it's very.
Oh yeah, they do that,
Yeah.
don't they?
But the song that is from the Five for Fighting did, which that guy can sing. That guy's got a great voice.
It's just him and a backing band, right? Like Five for Fighting is that guy,
Yeah,
John whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he sings this song called "Can One Man Save the World?" And the way he was singing it, everybody around us was like, "Is he saying can woman save the world?" We're like, "Well, that's fine," but like that seems like a real hard pander right there. Like that's a real hard pander. But it was
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Can One Man Save the World was the song, and then Bare Naked Ladies were fantastic and they're funny, and Tyler Stewart, he came out from behind the drums and he sang Rock of Ages by Def Leppard, and that was awesome. But not Delamitri, the firefighter fighting guy did Bohemian Rhapsody, and he nailed it. And that's not an easy song to sing.
People love coming out and singing Freddie Mercury. Like when we saw
Yeah.
Foo Fighters at House of Blues before they got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Taylor
'Cause-
Hawkins comes out and sings Somebody to Love. Does the
Yeah.
whole thing. People love belting out Freddie Mercury.
Mhm.
I got $1,000 here for you, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. You got a lot of these opportunities to win still, but it's the last week to do it, so good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Green. That's green. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
So Jason Aldean did get canceled here in Cleveland, and I think they rescheduled it for September, but he did play Cincinnati. That's where he let everybody know that we got to get rid of this cancel culture, man. I want our country to go back to what it used to be before all this cancel culture nonsense. Now, again, didn't make it clear who was being canceled, but got everybody riled up. And Cincinnati's Kentucky. I mean, so it's going to go over big down there.
September 7th through 10th, I'll be there. Go bananas.
Go where?
Go bananas.
Oh, you're going to be in Cincinnati. Oh, I thought you were mentioning
It's going to
his
be canceled.
rescheduled date. Yeah.
September 7th through the 10th.
Right. So Jason
He's going to
Aldean.
hang out at Cancel Culture.
Ah.
The new bar.
That's how you get people to show up. Like, they're trying to cancel me. Ugh. I was like, they don't want to hear my crazy jokes
My
because they're
truth.
too true.
My crazy mix-em-ups. They can't handle the truth. You're the Jack Nicholson.
I call my
stand-up
jokes
comedy.
figure 'em outs.
So everyone's trying to figure out why they came there. Hey-o!
Barry Santora is performing
She'll
when?
be there, 2 weeks after me?
Yeah.
Oh, Bill's going to warm him up for you is what he's trying to
Yes,
say.
he is.
All right. So, yeah, okay. Well, big old storm blowing through on Thursday. And
Do you have audio of him talking about cancel culture, or someone texted that in?
No. It was an article. The Cincinnati CBS affiliate was covering some of it. I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinion. He said you can think something all you want to. It doesn't mean it's true. I'm proud to be from this country. I want to see it restored to what it once was before all of this bull shrimp cancel culture started happening to us. I think you know who us is. And he told, and then of course he plays the song because you're not going to not play the song.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's not saying anything crazy because he's talking to his audience. So it would have been weirder if he had come out and said something completely unpredictable. That would have been a weird thing to say.
When it came out, it's just like, you know what? That song did come across racist, and that's not how I meant it. I'm sorry. I didn't know that about that courthouse that I was filming in front of. If I would have known that, I never would have done that.
Well, part of the issue that people have, though, is that Jason Aldean doesn't write all of his own music. So if you're just taking a song that someone wrote for you and releasing that, that's a different thing than like if you wrote it. But a lot of these guys don't want people to know that, so he's not out there going, hey, I didn't write it. I got guys that write some of my songs and they just handed it to me. Like, you don't want to do that either. The artists that pride themselves on writing their own music, they take a different tack. They go, I'm responsible for all these songs. But he's not one of those guys. So, I don't know. Whatever. But he doesn't like cancel culture. And nobody is quite sure what he means, but that's what he said to them, and everybody seemed to respond positively, I guess. Luke Bryan was doing his own show and wanted to shout out his buddy Jason Aldean, who he said was being given a hard time.
Oh, man.
Listen, it's hard times for these
I don't know if
guys.
anybody else has ever been given a hard time for what people think about them without really knowing them.
I don't know. It's
Is
these parasocial relationships that people have with their famous artists. Don't know. But, he packed the house. And again, he's not saying anything controversial to his audience. He's not going to come out and it's going to be America and whatever. So that's what, you gotta talk to your people. And some people call it pandering. I think you just got to you're talking to your audience. There is a difference between pandering and addressing your audience, talking to the people who like what you do. That's a different thing. You know, if you're a politician, you're pandering because you don't know who your people are. You're trying to get your people to find you, even though you're just unbelievably unlikable, by and large. You're trying to get broad swaths of people to think you're the guy. If you're an artist, your people find you, no matter what you do. If you're a musician, if you're a comedian, your audience will find you. So you don't really have to do anything other than what you want to do, and your audience will find you.
Right, but
when they do, there you go.
But you can pander to a certain mindset.
No, but that mindset is already, but that
way.
mindset, because your audience has found you, you're already on the same wavelength. So you don't have to pander to those people.
See, this is what I've been saying the whole time, and you guys were like, it's pandering.
No, well, he says that. I don't say that.
I think it's pandering.
I don't think you need to pander to your audience.
That was my whole point. They're already there. Pandering is to get them. You pander to people when you go to a new town. You're like, how about them Steelers?
Yeah, the Browns, man. Yeah.
Re-pandering? I don't know.
No, it's not pandering. They're already there. Pandering is something you do to get people to like you. These people already like you. They're already there. They're already fans.
They paid to see him.
It's like when you change your jokes based on the set that you're in front of, or the people that you're in front of. You pander to the audience saying, oh, I love being here in Delaware. You guys, they filmed.
And that is pandering because, with all due respect, nobody loves being in Delaware.
Exactly.
I've got a break here. If you want to send me a text for anything, 35192 is the number you're always going to want to use. And you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
An aquatic event 4 years in the making.